Was that a toy dog or was that a regular dog?
That's my corgi.
Okay. All right. We're live now.
Is that the right location?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's it.
Thanks.
You ready to bring in number one right now?
Okay. Hey, Judy.
Teresa, you're on strike.
There they
You're
are.
on mute, just so you know. Teresa, you're on mute.
Sure.
There you go.
Hi.
There you
Oh,
go.
hello. Good evening.
Good evening, everybody. Hello.
Okay. So you guys want to open up a toy store?
That is true.
Okay. It's gonna be 3 days. Oh, 3 days. Excuse me. Tuesday through Friday.
We'll be open Tuesday through Sunday.
Tuesday through Sunday. Okay, but your hours are Tuesday to Friday are 10 to 6, Saturday 10 to 7, and Sunday 10 to 5.
Correct. That's right.
Okay. And you're gonna have 3 employees and some part-timers in the seasonal support, which is around Christmas time.
Correct.
Okay. So you're going into it's the zone retail business, and this is a retail business. Your employees will be parking in, I assume, employee parking.
Correct. Or so we can outside as well.
Okay, that sounds good. Is there any interior renovations or pretty much the same?
We're staying the same, minor cosmetic and just building of shelves and such.
Okay, great.
And signage, are you getting your signage?
Yes, so we've already submitted our awning to the architectural board for approval. We had our temporary signage already approved, and so any other paint or anything on the window will be submitted as needed.
And we'll be working with Brushmasters Dave, as recommended by Mayor Adams, and he's just told us he has to do a rescan of the awning for approval.
Okay, great.
Can I ask one question? The age range of the toys that people you'll be selling toys to?
Sure, so we're newborns at 10 or 11, both genders,
Oh.
especially mostly in non-battery operated toys.
All right, I just want to make sure it's not adult.
No. Valid question. Totally fair. Totally fair. It could get awkward.
Valid.
That-
That's awesome.
That question was already asked. I knew the answer to that, so. Good for you, Rich.
I'm looking at this, it's like, yeah, great, I'll be approving it, and all of a sudden it'll be this.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense.
We're slipping in under the radar.
You know, you're going
Because I
to
didn't
cause
have
me a
to-
lot of trouble. I have a 9 and 11-year-old daughter, so I'm probably going to be living at your store.
Perfect.
There's one thing we'd like you to do is to contact the Suffolk County Sewer District. We've been tasked with any new business in the business district to contact them and get a letter from them saying that they have no issues or with the type of business, or that's won't increase the demand on the business. Okay,
Got it.
and that's the letter and the letter of approval that we send you.
So we can get the letter of approval and submit it to you guys, and that will require, will we be pending approval until that letter comes?
We'll get you can get the letter to the building department. The letter will basically say you're approved based on their approval. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Anybody else have any questions?
No?
No, not at
Yep.
all.
Good
All right.
luck.
Best of luck.
Good luck. Good luck.
Yep, good luck.
Should be a nice addition.
Yes, we agree.
Wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna add in our second applicant, Jamie Winkler.
Okay, thank you.
What address is that for?
67 John Street.
John Street, gotcha.
That's the street, that's the location.
That is correct, right to the, right
Yes,
behind the
thank you.
lamppost there. The little white placard. Jamie, are you on?
I'm on. I don't know how to get my picture on though. Oh, well.
All right.
Okay, so I am Jamie Winkler. I'm the owner of Winkler Real Estate and I'm the expediter for the applicant, Michael and Audrey Marzoka. They are the owners of a company called Save On Plumbing, Sewer and Drain. And they are seeking to purchase this property because they have been renting for many years. They saw this as a good opportunity to buy a property instead of renting anymore.
Okay. Their business, is it strictly like a service business or is it retail involved?
No, it's a service business. They basically, you would call them if your toilet was clogged, that type of thing.
Okay.
They do plumbing, they do heating, and they do drainage. And
Okay.
basically, 67 John Street has been occupied for many years by a commercial electrical contractor. So the zoning of industrial is staying the same.
Great. And they're gonna do some improving with the parking by just painting stripes and adding some,
Yes,
curb stop?
I had the engineer from Babylon Vin Palladino. I don't know if this was attached to the application, but he was able to create a site plan that completely complies with what they're looking for. They have 9
Yep.
employees.
Right.
You have a copy of that by any chance?
I do. Yes, I have it in
Okay,
front of
good. All right, good. So we're not looking for any relaxation of the parking. There's enough parking for their employees. Their hours of operation are Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. And then they would like to have 3 trucks stay in possession overnight because they can't move them, obviously. But they're gone they're gone during the day, as are the employees out on jobs.
Okay.
Amy, did
Okay.
you say 7 days a week?
No, 5 days, Monday through Friday.
Oh, Monday through Friday, okay.
Right. If there's any emergencies, there's a 24-hour call center, but they're not physically there.
Okay.
So I guess they have a mechanic that takes the emergency phone home and then he must have a truck with him and he responds out.
Yeah,
that way?
sure.
Okay.
Chemical storage,
signage?
right? Oh, here.
Pretty much it's going to stay the same. It'll just replace the sign that's up there, and you can see it's a pretty small sign.
Okay.
It's to the left. It's not the training center. Right,
Right.
that one. Yes.
Good. And,
No chemical storage or anything, right?
No, nothing. So just to let you know that before we had a snowstorm, there was a temporary shed in the rear of the property, and we don't even have to discuss that because that was never legalized by the existing occupant, and it got knocked down in a snowstorm, so it's no longer relevant. And he's not putting it back. He doesn't need it.
great.
And what about a dumpster?
You don't really have much paperwork. Everything's digital right now, and they have no paperwork. Everything's just made by appointments.
Right, but what about any materials waste materials? They're not gonna have any.
Perhaps they'll have
It-
village garbage pickup?
It shows a very small 2-yard dumpster on the plans here.
Right.
So,
I'm not quite sure if they're even going to keep that. I don't know if they need it. The electricians needed it because they had a lot of boxes with, tools and materials.
okay. So we'll say that they're not gonna use a dumpster.
I can't
No.
see that they would need it. No, it's not that
No
type of
dumpster
business.
required. Okay. in the event that they do need a dumpster in the future, they can always
Sure.
enclose it and 6-inch concrete pad and all the other good stuff.
Right.
All right. The signage, is that they're going to ARB for that?
We
You
haven't
know?
gotten that far. You're our first step.
Okay. And interior renovations.
There's nothing that has to be done. Everything
Okay.
is CO'd on this building. It's vinyl siding and architectural roof. So he
Mhm.
just instead of renting, he just wanted a place to own.
Yep, understandable. Okay. Exterior lighting, is it changing or staying the same?
Nothing is proposed to be changed. If you think he needs to add something, you can tell me and I'll be sure he would, but
No, we're just looking at anything that is added.
no, he's not planning on it.
Doesn't shine onto the neighbor's property.
Right.
Okay. No, does anybody else have any concerns or questions?
No.
No,
Is
Okay.
he going to have trucks parked on this property overnight?
Yes, I mentioned that he's going to have 3 trucks parked in the rear. If you look at the site plan, you'll see there's 3 spots that abut the
Yes.
railroad border. That's where his 3 trucks are going to stay overnight.
So do you think it would be prudent for him to have some sort of security lighting in the back? If he
If
was
you
going to have,
Judy, we can do that, but there have been many more than 3 trucks with the electrical contractors
Okay.
for years, and there's never been any robberies or anything, no vandalism.
all right. Okay,
Okay.
that's fine. I just wasn't sure how secure the location was.
You know that there's no robberies in Babylon, Judy. There's no robberies in Babylon.
Oh, Jamie.
Am I right? It's true.
You are so good.
And he doesn't plan to offer anything, does he?
I'm sorry, say that again. I didn't hear you, Richard.
There's the fence, but there's no gates to the rear yard presently.
No.
He's not gonna, okay,
No, there's no need for it.
okay.
Okay. Based on what we discussed here, we'll get you a letter of approval.
Wonderful. And I'll work on the sign if he's going to have anything for the architectural review board, okay?
That'd be great.
Good.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Good luck.
All right,
You
thank
too.
you.
thank
See
you.
now.
Okay, I'm adding 2 people, the homeowner and representative for 16 Weller Street.
Excellent. Thank you. Here it is. Okay.
Hello, how are you? Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hi, Allison.
Hi, I'm Rachel Shelfo. I am representing,
Okay,
I'm representing Allison and
Hi.
patent offer of 16 Willow Street. How are you, Judy?
I'm good. How are you, Rachel?
Very good, thanks. So we are here tonight just looking for a very modest driveway expansion of approximately 5 feet. You could see from the photo the existing conditions. The actual curb cut is quite narrow at 11.3 feet or so at the property line. We're looking to kind of widen out to that area to sort of match where you see that paver line. What's happening is they have 2 vehicles. They happen to have 2 trucks now. The area next to the curb cut gets run over even with visitors and gets quite muddy, and it becomes a little bit of an eyesore. But I think the bigger issue is that this is a very, very busy block. And I think for safety reasons of pulling in and out for visibility, it would be better to have a slightly wider curb cut. What happens is some of the folks who work in the village at some of the nearby shops tend to park in this section of Willow Street during the day. It doesn't leave a ton of spots on the street. They do use their driveway and want to utilize their driveway, but there isn't always the best visibility here, which I'm sure you all are aware of how busy it is, especially with the upcoming summertime. It actually gets a great deal busier with people going to their boats and such, and down to the water. They did have an incident recently where their daughter unfortunately was hit by a car. She was fine. Her foot got run over, but they do have a 5-year-old daughter, and they do feel it's a safety issue to kind of have this be a little bit wider here for ease of pulling in and out and better visibility.
Okay. We've looked it over. We feel that it's in keeping with what you need. 5 feet is fine with us. We would just ask you to coordinate the improvement to the curb cut with the superintendent of highways, Skip Gardner.
Yep.
And the surface will be asphalt to match existing, right?
Yes, I think the specs will come from Skip and that it will have to match existing.
Right. Good. Does anybody have some concerns or questions?
No.
Nope. Nope. Looks good.
The
Okay.
house looks very nice. Thanks for keeping it up so well.
Thank you.
They
Very
are,
good.
they are artists and art teachers, and Allison is the vice president of BVAC, and everything is just quite tastefully and artfully kept on their property. It really is something to see.
Thank you.
Great. Okay, good luck with it.
Thank you.
Yep.
Just coordinate with
Sorry,
Skip
guys,
for the
so-
expansion.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Good
You
night.
Thank you
too.
so much.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
You too. I don't know why my view keeps changing.
Okay, heading in our fourth applicant for Five Sons Realty, 136 Main Street.
Hello.
Hello?
Hey.
Hello.
Hello, there you go, Daniel. How are you? Good evening.
Good evening.
So on your application, it has a proposed action. We don't see what the action is. But we made an assumption that it's going to be a real estate office. Is that correct?
It's going to be an insurance office.
Oh, insurance office.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and you're going to occupy the front half of this building?
The front half of the building, yes. I'm the owner of the building.
Oh, okay.
I'm leasing it out. I called the building department, the zoning board, and they said that I need to submit a site plan for it.
Yes, and we have that. So
Okay.
you are the Five Sons Realty
Yeah.
Corp?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're leasing out to an insurance office, which is, I guess, all types of insurance, automobile.
Yes. Yeah, they're an existing company. They're in North Babylon. They're relocating. They wanted to be down.
Okay, and their, the company name would be?
It's Babylon Spirit Insurance.
Okay.
Garrett Duffy is the owner.
Okay. So, Do we have hours of operation? Do we know their hours of operation?
Yes, I think I put it on the paperwork. They open at 10, they close at 5.
10 to 5.
They have about 5 employees and they typically have 3 to 5 clients a day stop in.
The notes you
10 to
put on
5.
that page say 9 to 6 and 2 to 3 people per day.
Excuse me?
Yeah, the notes you put on the application say 9 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Okay,
and 2 to 3 clients a day.
right. Well, 2 to 3, 4. I mean, they have very little interaction with people. Everything over the phone.
Most of the things today.
And 5 employees.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see.
9 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Monday through Friday?
They might have hours on Saturday. That I'm not sure.
Okay.
So we'll just say Monday through Saturday. How's that?
Okay.
All right. That covers it. Just in case. 5 employees
Yes.
and approximately 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 clients a day.
Yeah. Again, I guess it could vary, but yes.
Right. On an average. Right. Okay. We had one question. It mentions a second floor plan. Is there a little second floor?
It's a little loft. The real estate use it as an IT room, but I have that closed off.
Okay. It's deceiving. We didn't.
Yeah, it's
It's
over the boiler room. The boiler room's underneath that.
Ah, okay. That's how. Okay. Do you know about signage for this? Are they going to add signage?
Well, yeah, they're gonna put signs up, but they're gonna go, submit it to you or the planning board for what type of signs they want to put up.
Great. Architecture Review Board, of course, right?
Yeah.
Not us. The Architecture Review Board.
Okay.
Do you have handicap parking?
The rear of the building. 15. There's 11 spots and 1 is handicapped.
Oh, okay.
And that the post office is in half of the building. The building's about 7,000 square foot total. So when they did their build out, I think it's about 12 years ago, they obviously went through you and did everything according to what the code.
Okay. All right. But okay. Anybody have any questions?
No.
Mac, do you have anything to?
No, I don't.
All right, and we're at what, 18,050 square feet. The real estate office prior, basically same type of use. I have no problems with an approval on this. Does anybody see any problem?
No.
No.
No. No.
Okay. All right, you get a letter from us with an approval.
Okay.
With stipulation that we asked, of course, for any signage, they go to the Architecture Review Board. There's the interior space is going to be staying the same, no renovations.
They're not changing
Okay.
anything.
Yeah. I think we're good to go. Okay.
Okay.
You'll get a letter from us for approval. Just stating what we discussed here tonight.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Yep. Thank you.
Have a good night.
Okay. Here we go.
Hey, adding in 2 attendees.
Hey, guys.
Hey,
Hey, Doc. How are you?
How you doing, Doc?
Good. Nice to see you again.
see you.
First question out of the box. Are you moving or are you expanding?
We're expanding.
Okay. All right.
So it was, I think, a little over a year since we saw you guys for the 60 George Street building. That went very well for us. You know, we made a lot of changes inside, but we kept the outside pretty much the same. And now we're expanding our medical services. And naturally, since we share the parking lot with the building next to us, we thought that would be a normal expansion. You know, the hours and services will be very similar to what we do now at 60 George Street, and it's similar volume, which is, you know, not a lot. We're pretty light when it comes to patients because we do most of what we do in the hospital. The alterations that we're proposing in the site plan are mainly internal, just to make the space more appropriate for an office. Because, you know, as an architectural building, some of the walls don't reach the ceiling. It's beautifully done, but, you know, we need to get a little bit more private inside. But that's pretty much it.
Okay.
So, well, the 2 buildings are going to be your practice.
Right.
So the staff in the new building, we'll call it the new building, the 54, will be the same. Will you have another MD with you, or you're going to go back and forth?
Yeah, no, it's not going to be me going back and forth. I'm going to be hiring somebody. I've hired somebody already, actually, and they will be occupying mainly that building.
Okay. So you're going to have an MD, a nurse practitioner, front desk manager, and an ultrasound technician?
Correct. And it might not be, you know, we put everybody like we had in the original building, but we might not necessarily use all the positions. It might be actually fewer people initially at the beginning.
Okay. And the sample clinic stays basically the same?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the summary you gave us, is that for both buildings or is that just for the new building? Like the 9:30 to 12:35 patients on Monday?
Right. So that's for the new building.
Okay. I don't recall what the numbers were for the other building, but let's say it's the same. So there'd be 10 patients. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so this is for the new building. Okay. So you say the average patients per week is 28, 32 between both properties, or?
Yeah, and you know, the way we have it is right now they're not coming concurrently. There's single slots. So and you know, fairly short, I would say my appointments and those appointments would be about 15 minutes. So it's typically one person going, one person coming. We rarely have multiple people in the parking lot. Only if I'm stuck in surgery, but obviously we cancel office if that happens.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. We have your parkings. You have 24 parking spaces provided, that's 29 required, which we approved on previous occasions. The patient load seems to be light enough to be able to handled by that parking lot. This is zoned Reso, so change of use would have to go to the ZBA.
Yeah.
Correct.
You have to, go to the ZBA for final approval. The dumpster is just the one dumpster still gonna stay?
Yeah. Yeah, we've been using the same, even now we've been using that one dumpster together with
Right.
the folks at 54.
Right. Okay. Anybody have any concerns or questions?
Did we discuss signage?
Yes,
We did
we're
not.
not gonna change, we're not gonna change the current signage, like we didn't do in 60.
Okay, but you're gonna have to remove some signage from Mr. Middleton's signs, right?
Right, like, we're gonna change it into our sign, but the structure of it is the same.
Okay.
I think you need to go to ARB with that.
We would still ask you to go to the zoning,
Okay.
ARB.
Yep. No problem.
That is a nice building.
It
What's
is.
that?
Yes.
Janet had mentioned, Jeanette had mentioned you didn't go to ARB for your existing sign. Could you just put those two apps together?
For sure.
Okay. All right. Again, we asked you to go to ZBA for the final decision, but our letter will state that what we discussed here tonight.
I have one small question, sorry.
Please.
Okay.
You said average patients 2832 per week. Is that for this new facility or is that total both facilities?
For the new one.
No, okay. So it's the same as the previous one. Okay.
Exactly.
Great. Thank you.
Okay.
So the property would be seeing 64 per week. max.
Correct. Right. Exactly.
Okay.
Are there plans to make the building uniform somehow so they look very distinct and very different, right?
Yeah.
Even though it's kind of one business. So what is your thoughts with that? Or
Well, we really like them the way they are. So we were thinking of keeping them as they are. We really like what Mr. Middleton had done with the one next 54.
Yeah. He did a great job with that building.
Yeah, so we were thinking of keeping them exactly the same.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I could see that.
Okay.
all right. Well, good luck to you. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you for
See
your
soon,
time.
baby. Thank you.
Okay,
Take care.
thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Yep.
All right, heading in number 6, 8 Johnson Court.
You're on your company background.
Sorry.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Good.
How are you?
Hello.
Good, James?
Jim.
James,
Jim, yeah, James
Ignore
and Megan.
the company, the work background on the computer.
Okay. So you guys want to expand your driveway?
Yeah.
Okay. I think you can see the picture of your house at this point.
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Now, question I had, we were looking at your dimensions.
Yep.
And when we add them up through the survey, we get just about 20 feet from the edge of your garage over to your property line.
Yes. Yep. That's what we have, 19 3/4.
Okay.
So we want to add a little more than an 8 feet to, towards 6 Johnson Court.
Okay. And that area is asphalt to the front of the garage and then pavers to the back, or?
Yeah, so the pavers will really just be one layer that surround the new driveway. And then the walkway and the concrete slab, which is to the right of the car, directly in front of the house, will be pavers. So it's really just going to be, the majority of it is asphalt.
The majority of it asphalt with a paving border that is flush with the ground?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And that's the same as it runs beyond the garage, on the side of the garage?
Yes.
And then the patio on the back is going to be pavers, right?
Right, yep.
Right, okay. Okay. So what we like to do, which we struggle to do, is to maintain a little buffer zone between the properties. I know your neighbor to the east brought his driveway to the property line. If he had come to the planning, which he could have, we would have asked him to keep it back off the property line.
Right.
We actually, the code is written for 5 feet, but that would be impossible for your piece of property for you to do. But we would ask if you could possibly give us a 2-foot buffer on that side and give yourself an 18-foot driveway. Is that something you?
One question, would the 2 feet buffer, would it have to be grass?
You could go gravel.
Vegetated, any kind of
Or
plant.
your vegetation, a little low. You're looking to maintain reduce maintenance?
Yeah, we saw a number of, in our particular neighborhood in Twin Oaks, there's really, there's at least 6 or 7 just around the area don't have any buffer at all, don't even have Belgian blocks like our
Correct.
neighbor does. And I'm not sure if the regulation had changed over time or if they just didn't go through you.
Probably, the other thing we have been tasked with is stormwater runoff. And what the green buffer helps us to do is to allow the homeowner to pitch the driveway to the right and left, and thereby, going into some vegetation, and thereby eliminate the need for a trench drain at the end of the driveway, in your case, before the sidewalk, which can add a little bit of cost to a driveway improvement.
Right.
So that's the other reason. Go ahead.
We were thinking, and it was not pictured there in our design, there is a trough that would be right in front of the garage, and the water would be pumped to a dry well, which would be to the immediate left of the garage.
Underneath the paving then.
Right, yeah, or we could do it in there, or we can do it in the backyard, but our, our driveway, go ahead.
The thing about that, in essence, you would have to pitch the water back to your house, which.
Right. You would pitch it about 4 to 7 inches. And it would be right in front of the garage, and there, like I said, there would be a trough there where the water would go into, so it wouldn't go into the garage or the house area.
The driveway apron, you're saying your house is lower than the street? The garage is lower than the street?
No, it's not. It's pitched the angle upward, and then so there would be a little bit of a hill there, and then it would slope a little bit towards the house to drain water.
Okay, but what's going to happen is the runoff. The state doesn't allow the runoff to go out into the street anymore.
Okay.
So we have to catch that before it goes to the street.
And we've been able to just allowing the driveway to be pitched, as long as you have a flush border, you flush with the ground. Pitch from the center of the driveway, 1/8 inch per foot either way, which is pretty minimal.
The grass.
And instead of having the drain. Although, you know, if you're gonna run the drain by the garage, there's an expense there.
Right.
You could, the end of the driveway.
That still doesn't catch the garage to the street.
No, it does. I'm saying, Rich, at the end of the driveway, coming towards the street before the sidewalk.
Yes, that would catch.
So
Right.
instead of having the trough, instead of
Up
having the
by the
trough in the
garage.
garage, it would be down below, but it would be
Right.
part of the apron or not?
It would be in front of the sidewalk there.
Probably.
Yeah.
Right there, okay. I don't see why we couldn't do that. Certainly
You can
don't.
avoid that entire expense by just sloping your driveway towards your green area. It's gonna cost you quite a bit of money to have somebody put a trough drain and a dry well in.
It's already factored into the costs.
Okay.
Yeah, we already have it factored in for the in front of the garage. If we want to move it to below, I don't see why there wouldn't be
Okay.
an issue.
Up to you. A lot of homeowners object to having to put a drain in, so we've tried to meet people halfway by suggesting they just pitch the driveway to put the water onto their green area. But if you want to put a trough drain in, that's great.
Now, looking at this picture that's up, looking at the garage door, to the right of the garage door, when you did your measurements, you measured from the edge of the garage going east to your property line, and that's how you got your 19 feet 3/4?
Yes.
Okay, so your driveway would, that little
I'm
pine
sorry,
tree is gonna.
yeah. I'm sorry. It would be the garage door line is where the measurement is. It's a little
garage door
misleading. A
line.
little misleading in the actual.
Yes. So what if you were to bring that driveway over to the edge of the bump out for the start of the garage? And that way you would pick up the green space we want on the left side against the property line.
We can certainly do that. The one issue is that you can't see this, but the concrete slab does extend beyond that tree. So, we could take out a portion of that concrete slab.
Concrete slab for?
If you see, if you look on the actual drawing, you see that
Yeah.
the area where it's 23 by 2/3 by 4.
Yeah.
That's a concrete slab that a porch would go, like on 6 Johnson Court. You can't see it in this picture. It's behind that,
Right.
the bushes.
Oh, I see.
Does
Yeah.
the slab, that little concrete
It's like a
23,
step up,
does
yeah.
that end at your garage bumps out maybe 2 foot 18 inches?
Yep.
Does it end at that bump out?
And it goes from the edge of that white part of the actual garage all the way to the right, to the opposite side. In front of the
Right,
door.
so you wouldn't have to cut that back. Well, what it looks like is your driveway is the width of the garage door.
Correct.
So we're saying move the use that section, which is, truth be told, is nice, because then you get more to stand on. Make that there's like a 2.5, maybe 3 foot section from the edge of the garage door to where the bump out ends. That would be where the driveway starts. So the driveway would align with the wall of the garage as opposed to the door of the garage.
Right. No, and then we can certainly, like I said,
And then
we
make
can
it-
certainly do that. Yeah. No, we can certainly do that.
And then make it.
Go ahead.
And then.
Yeah, and you wouldn't have to cut back anything.
Okay.
Is that correct?
What would happen there is that we would, yeah, so essentially, what I was saying, just to be clear, where that, the Christmas tree is, Christmas tree looking bush,
Yes.
right there is concrete behind that. So in
Yes.
between the edge of the garage.
Right in
to
front
the-
of the bay window too, right?
Yes,
Right.
that whole
Bay
thing.
window, yeah.
Okay.
So
So-
it wouldn't be, the driveway wouldn't be able to go flush against the garage if we didn't.
Oh,
if-
okay.
So you're saying that's like a step down there? I mean,
Yeah.
that's where
Okay.
exit and entrance on that little patio?
Because it doesn't show that on on the survey from, I don't know what. I don't see the date. From oh God, that old survey that you have there?
Yeah, it's from 2015 from about the house.
Yeah, that doesn't
Yeah.
show that like that.
It doesn't.
That survey,
I thought it did. I thought it did, but my drawing definitely does.
yeah, okay.
This is
So,
hard.
so I guess we could do that. Hold on. So I guess we could move it over and have the driveway extend in front of the bush.
Yeah.
And then, so we can have gravel. It doesn't have to be grass.
Yes. It's some kind of permeable surface. It could be plantings too, so some nice low plantings. That'd be nice too.
Okay, and that would have to run. That would have to run all the way beyond where their fence starts.
We would
Yes.
prefer the yes.
Okay.
The space between the garage and the fence, is that just something, again, you're paving that to for low maintenance?
Yes.
You're not trying to get a car in the back there, right?
No, no.
Well, we could.
No,
I mean,
we're not.
if we had people over, we could, but we wouldn't normally.
Yes, okay.
Hey, Jim, can I just interject for a second?
Sure.
Yes, Mac, please.
So reading in the code here, it says a minimum 3-foot wide planting area shall be maintained between the edge of the driveway and the adjacent lot line,
Okay,
extending the entire length of the driveway. So I don't know.
yeah, we can, that's true. In this case, a planting would be more desirable.
Grass, but it's doesn't specifically say you can't have asphalt, can't have gravel, but I think the intent of that
The
portion
intent is to,
maintain green area in your front yard.
Just as a personal note, we were talking about this before. The difficulty becomes in the wintertime when what do you do with the snow
mhm.
if you go edge to edge?
Yeah, we would just throw it on into our main yard.
Yeah, it's just harder to, at least if there's something in between, it makes it a little easier.
You throw it in front of you and just keep going.
I just
Yeah.
want to mention, this is across the street.
Right.
Yep, they got a little green space there on
Yeah.
at least one piece. And it's what we're really looking for.
About a foot.
Yeah.
Right. It breaks it up.
The one thing that, obviously now it's incumbent upon us to come up with the buffer because our neighbor didn't.
Of course, we understand that. But in our position too, we're tasked with, like you said, the code is 3 to 5 feet. And we're trying to keep it manageable for you, by keeping it down. I mean, it's a 70-foot piece of property. You want to get your cars off the street. We understand that.
Right.
But we're trying to not pave everything before it's at all possible. And there's another, some things in between. You have to admit that's more pleasing to look at than the concrete.
Right. I understand. So overall, we need at least 3 feet.
No, we were ready to go with 2 feet.
Okay.
You know, we can still maintain that. I believe by shifting over to the right, that you would still be able to maintain the dimension that you want.
Yep. Okay.
And give us that planting area.
Okay. All right. Great. Thank you. Is there anything else that we need to do?
We talked about the drainage. We asked for that unless you wanted to do the pitch the driveway in either way.
Okay.
The runoff has to be on your property by state law.
So if you could make that decision now, we would put in the letter for you. If you want to think about it and get back to us.
No, that's fine. So we just need to put the drainage trough at the base there of the green space that we're trying to erase.
Correct.
Okay, and then would it have to run the length of the entire driveway?
Across the driveway, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. And the curb cut, the expansion of the curb cut, we would ask you to coordinate that with the superintendent of highways, which is Skip Gardner, down in the department. He's a good resource, and he can tell you what is best when you do the apron and curb cut.
Okay. And we're just expecting to replace, the concrete in front of the driveway. Is that okay? Or
Yes, that's what I'm just talking about. Coordinate with the superintendent of highway, Skip Gardner.
Okay.
He's a great resource. Just tell him what you want to do. Actually, you'll take our letter when you're done. When you get our letter, and say, this is what we're doing, and he'll help advise you on the best way to do that.
All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
You're welcome.
Have a good weekend.
You too.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Okay. 175 East Main. Melly's Restaurant.
Heading now.
Okay. Okay.
Hi, guys, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Oh, great. How you guys doing, okay?
Yes, we're doing well. So
Good, thank you for being here on a late night on a Thursday.
that's okay. We see that you modified your application.
Yeah, I think it's better if we set it back a little bit further away from the street.
Okay.
Not trying to block the sign and just.
So we can make this.
I think that would work for us.
So you're going out 8 feet now, approximately.
I don't have the I'll have the information in front of me. I brought everything over to the planning board, building department. I'm sorry.
It keeps you back within the front yard setback behind it.
Yes.
Which is fine with us. The only thing we'd ask you to coordinate the construction with the Babylon Village Building Inspector, for that little retaining wall. He approves that. The other thing we're going to ask you to do is to see the Board of Trustees, because they have the final say as to for outside dining.
Okay.
You have some there, so they just, I'm sure they'll just bake it into what you have. But we do like to give them, so they need to make the final decision on any type of outside dining.
Okay.
So that being said, the building inspector pulling it back out of the front yard setback and the board of trustees, we have no problem with this expansion of your outside dining.
We appreciate that. Weather permitting, we'll all be out there.
That's right.
They were out there,
Okay.
tonight, so.
So, so wait for our letter and then you get to talk to the building department about a building permit and, get on the calendar for the trustees so that they can, give you their okay or any concerns from their part.
Great. I want to thank you guys for everything and have a great weekend.
You
Okay.
too.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Care.
Bye-bye.